So hello guys, this is Alex again in FH Dating here in Poltava, a small comfortable city as you guys know, full of very high level of young ladies that come from all the cities to study and try a good job on the so-called big city as Poltava. And during all these years that I've been here, I had the pleasure to meet Tanya that is here with us today. Thank you for coming. Tanya is here. Why today? Because she came from the US to visit her family here. She has a lovely daughter that has more or less the same age as mine. So we have Tanya, a single mother, living in the US, fighting for her life and for her progress and evolving on future on the so-called American dream. And this is about why I invited, and she was so gracious, agreed with that, to explain to us her experience and her perspectives about what is for a Ukrainian woman to live in the US. So my first question to you is how hard it was. Is that so different? How did you feel life there comparing to all you knew from being an Ukrainian woman and the legacy of being an Ukrainian woman?
Well, first of all, I wanted to thank you for giving me such an opportunity to share my experience, since it will be coming from the first source. I mean,
Shall I warn the guys that you can be sharp with the words?
No, I'm
Just say what you think.
I'll just try to
They are used that I'm not polite with words.
use terms and things that I went through. So it's coming from my own experience, and I think this is the best way to describe how it is. In terms of the relationship, speaking about perspective on marriages and relationships, which can be very difficult and complicated. I think we have a lot in common, because this is your profession, and I was not a tool, sort of a tool, an instrument, but like I said, in my case, it was so versatile. It was full of beautiful time as much as really ugly times, So just like I started, that I said that any relationship and marriages, it's so complicated, because every individual is different, as is their needs, desires, and wants.
So you want to say that to be married with an Ukrainian man or to be married with an American man is both complicated, because it's the
both.
institution of marriage.
Yeah, I mean, it is a tough commitment. It just both in both situations. But speaking about trying to create a relationship with someone from overseas, it's even a tougher commitment. There are so many obstacles that unless you have an experience, unless you know what it is, you do not realize what an impact it can have on your life, especially
Can
for
you
young.
identify those? What were those obstacles that you faced?
Let's start from. Let's just just one step at a time. So I think, to my opinion, that there are very obvious the above: the language skill, the education level, the type of life that you choose to live individual within the refines of the relationship and the person you are with. Also it matters if you had any previous experience, or if you traveled before and you experienced different things. It can make things easier, but also it can make things more complicated, So, and here's this sharp thing, okay?
Okay, shoot.
Before I go ahead and start saying
I'm
when
even
I
going to
moved,
drink.
to the States and all those, things, I think that a lot of men that come here to this part of the world, to this country, they're basically looking for someone they could control. They're not looking for a real relationship. And this is the problem. And to my understanding, the more educated you are, the more difficult it is based on the person you choose to spend your time with.
Are you telling me that American men do not want smart ladies?
This is what I think, that the very best question to present to your partner or to the other one is that, what brought them here? Why did they take this route? And hopefully you will get an honest answer, so.
Well, that is one of the other questions that I had in mind to put, is that being there in the United States, you have experience, of course, and you have already a nice social network, among them many ladies, obviously. So are they that different from you in terms of mentality, in terms of priorities in life?
Yes.
What they search?
Oh,
you
yes.
feel yourself different?
I mean, yes, they are different.
They are different for worst or for best?
I'm not going to say worse or best. I mean, we are just
You already
different.
said bad about the guys. Now I also want to listen something about
meanwhile, I'm not going to be judgmental, because when American men, like, you mentioned before, they say that American women are career-oriented. That's not necessarily true. Because
I didn't say that yet.
Because being a career-oriented is not about the money, it's all about your mindset. And there are a lot of American women that are very family-oriented, that, they choose to contribute into becoming a good mother and a good wife, but they do have a lot of authority over men, and that's something
So they
that
really have.
They do have, and this is something actually to be proud about,
Are you becoming Americanized?
I think I am who I am.
I say this, sorry to interrupt, because obviously I already heard lots of explanations about my client men, why they come. And obviously 80% of these explanations have to be with the fact that they want someone that is beautiful because they care about themselves, that they let me understand that American women do not care about how they look as much as that they want to raise a family and they want a wife and a mother in the same level of priorities, and that they have difficulty to find such person.
Agree.
So,
yes, I mean...
you confirm that?
Yeah, I mean, beauty rules the world, and we know about that. And I think that for a lot of American women, beauty is a relevant phenomena. I never stopped wondering the way they are dressed when they're going to public places, because they choose they choose more of a democratic, comfortable clothes.
So they are not, when they go out from home, they do not have that set mind, like I need to go beautiful outside, like Ukrainians do.
Yeah, that's not the priority.
That's not the
And,
point. So it's legit that the guys say they want someone that really cares about how they look.
You know what? I think American men are so used to what they have that they don't question it. I think subconsciously they want it, but they don't realize that, actually what I want is for my wife to just look good, sexy, cool, and she just doesn't care about it.
I would like to understand this balance between, do men care about themselves to please the wife, and does the wife care about herself to please the man on a close environment? Do they please each other as a priority, or they have this stress, life fighting for evolution, blah, 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 and they are too busy with thousands of things and they miscare themselves as a couple?
It's a lot about being equal. You do for me, I do for you, so they meet halfway. You know,
If one doesn't do that, the other one doesn't step
I
forward.
mean, they will try to do their best. They really, I know a lot of couples in relationships, they work really hard to please each other. They'll try, they'll go over and beyond, you know, but Ukrainian women, I mean, in order to please a Ukrainian woman, because they know they are desirable, you know, you need to put quite an effort, and you better make sure that you take every steps. You want to buy her flowers, you want to give her compliments. Don't go with cheap flowers, you know. You want to be dressed well, so I would say that it's important for a Ukrainian woman to see the guy who takes pride in his appearance, you know. So it is about being dressed well, because we take time, right, to look good. So this is what we
Why
we
doesn't he
expect.
do the same?
This exactly. Of course, as a Ukrainian, on behalf of Ukrainian women who wants to move out, you know, who wants to live in the States, they're looking for money. Oh yes, they are looking for money. They're looking for someone who looks good, and they're looking for someone who has a good job, because it's about your future and the family. It's not about being rich. It's about looking decent, you know. And this is why this is.
Yeah, you touch a point that is something that I always say to guys very often, is like, we cannot never dissociate the fact that the lady is beautiful and family oriented, but if the man does not have the conditions to provide her normal, decent life of quality, he also cannot be someone suitable. And to be more explicit, is like, if the guys have the money to come here, and this costs some thousands of dollars, and they will have to repeat it, so nobody finds a wife on the first tour. Somebody may luckily start a relationship on the first tour, so the investment is high, and then they put all their savings on this quest, and then they do not have the money to keep on providing the lifestyle that they show when being here.
Well,
So
with
this
that,
cannot happen. They need to make a homework and to understand, can I keep this lifestyle and this life level that I show to my date back home?
exactly. With that being said, is it about desperation? So I'm gonna just, I mean, from the point of view of the man. So I'm going to this country, and I have some savings. So I'm gonna dump all my savings. But the next question is, what's next? You know, if you bring a woman, you know, you need to provide. You need to provide her with certain things, and so.
Is it legit to say that a Ukrainian woman, of course, obviously, is not difficult to find a husband here, right? With the characteristics and life conditions as a foreigner man can do, we downgrade drastically the offer in terms of husband, right? Mm-hmm. So, what is the plus of the foreigner man for a Ukrainian woman besides the economical power that at the beginning they show to have? What else? Cultural. What do you have to say about the culture, the education,
Okay.
the inner person that a foreigner man can represent comparing to a Ukrainian guy?
It's a lot of stress for both parties. Let's say for a lady, overcoming the language barrier, because when you move to another country and you learn a new language, you're exposed to a new language, you have a tendency to interpret things literally, which can make understanding of certain situations, you know, complicated. And I speak English, but I do catch myself on that. Also, trying to merge, assimilating a new culture, and you better adapt as soon as
In Roman,
fast
we
as
do like
possible.
Romans do, right?
So exactly. So I think that choosing the demographic area of the country factors in, because in my situation, when I went to Louisiana, unlike the situation in Austin, where there is a small, tight-knit Russian-Ukrainian community, Louisiana had no commonalities to be able to merge in. So you need to choose an area where you have ties with your culture, in case if things don't work out, you know?
It's not a plan B, it's to feel safe
Yeah.
out of your own place.
Well, and also it's a lot of pressure on the man, because they do not realize that girls and women, they leave everything behind: their friends, family, security net. That safety blanket that you used to have is now gone. And unless you experience it, you know, unless you know, the impact can be very tremendous. Like in my situations, I
Yes.
went through ups and downs, but I chose to stay. Although things didn't work out, I chose to stay. I chose to go to school. I chose to carve out the future, the life for myself, for my child. You know, so
You didn't run home crying.
I did not, but believe me, there were a lot of times that I was
Put in question if you made the right step.
exactly. So, but it can be rewarding if you are willing to fight through this. Also, it can give you a great
Let
deal
me
of
understand. You say
self-confidence.
it can be rewarding the fact that you are in United States, that will be a country of opportunities.
If you're ready
Because
to
that
fight.
it cost like a husband behind, right?
Yeah.
So, and that is the panic. That is also something that all the guys put me in question, is that are the Ukrainian women serious about? Because they all have the panic to come here, find someone that use them as a passport to go there, install yourself, and then you don't need the husband anymore,
Well,
and you're gone.
Agree. I just
Right.
wanted to say that what is the reason why we moved there, right? The obvious reason, to have a better life. That is really why anyone
And there's
would.
a better husband also there.
That's true. Okay, so that is why really anyone will choose to cultivate a relationship in this manner, considering the fact that the amount of time you spend to develop a relationship is obviously not enough, you know. So I think that in a lot of situations, especially with younger women, they think that emotional, physical, psychological connection, which is love, will come later, which does not work with me. Why? Because it's more about their financial, emotional role plays major state.
Let me put that on a rude way and and more clear. It's like you say that men. I'm not saying that I agree or disagree. I can say that after. It's like you say to me that men come to acquire a life partner, and after a marriage that obviously has the process of bringing her to the United States, love and feelings will develop after.
Exactly.
So this almost,
And that's a lot
could I
about.
say, they come to purchase a wife that then will be recycled in the beloved mother of the future kids to come?
Well,
Because the
I'm
first
not
step
speaking
should be
about
to love someone
a
to
lot
go.
of cases. I don't have rights to speak about every cases. I have a lot of friends in Austin, mixed American, Ukrainian families, and they're happy. You know, they're happy. They're together.
Well, statistics say
they fight
that
through, they
marriage
have
between
kids.
American men
They
and
work it
Ukrainian
out.
has less divorce than between Americans. So But that, I believe, and with my experience here, I understand that that has also to be with the fact that Ukrainian women are stronger. They really are more family oriented, and they can eat the bread that devil cooked. This to say that they hold it. They hold it
Yeah,
as
yes.
much as their strengths allow them to.
I believe in our background, Ukrainian background. We have so much to offer. We are family oriented. We are devoted mothers. And we want that, that one and only one you'll spend, evening with kids around. It's so simple. Yes, there's certain things that we have to overcome when we come. And it's all about the question, are you willing to accept that? Are you willing to live the life like that? So there's a lot of sacrifice. And
To illustrate better what you are saying, I would like to put you a kind of nasty question. Did you ever had the feeling to laugh about when you see an American guy facing something, has a huge problem, and your life experience as an Ukrainian laugh about it
Yeah.
because that is ridiculous for you?
exactly. I mean, yes.
Often
sometimes,
happen?
yeah, there is a lot of drama about things like, to me, I was like, it's not, it doesn't make any sense to be upset about, But there's a lot of other things, well, to them, it's not a big deal, and to us, it's a drama. But yes, I agree.
What is for you the ideal American husband?
Oh, gee, don't ask me. I mean,
You are a Ukrainian woman in the United States. You have experience to tell me how look like the perfect American guy that you see there and would be for you your ideal partner. How
Well-
it needs to be and to look like. Don't tell me Brad Pitt, okay? But
oh, no.
Be modest.
I mean,
because
like
the guys that
said,
are listeners, after listen what you say, they will look, listen, do I fit in what she looks for or not?
well, it's not about me, okay? I mean, everyone is having their own criteria.
No, but you are Ukrainian mentality.
I have a Ukrainian mentality. Of course, I expect a nice atmosphere. I expect, like I said, appearance means it's not about being handsome as Brad Pitt, as you said, but it's about
He
taking
can be
pride.
fluffy, but he can be a fluffy guy, but very, very enjoyable to be with.
Well, to me, education means a lot. I put education and the level of intelligence. That would be my number one priority. Also, as a single mom,
He can be fat and intelligent.
he cannot be fat. I mean, if he's fat, he needs to take care about it. But like I said, I mean, it's,
You want him to be able to do the same as you do.
if I work hard, I want someone work hard too, trying to
But
look
if you
good
both
for...
work too hard, you don't have time for each other.
I'm not speaking about hard.
I don't speak about job. I'm speaking
speaking
to be
about-
worried with the image to the other.
I don't know. At this point, it's really hard for me to say because I'm a single mom, and my number one priority is my child. So I would say, someone who loves me and loves my child. And again, it's something that you develop inside. It's something that your heart tells you if you're ready to make a commitment. So until that happens, I'm clueless who he should be
It's like,
and how he should look.
Would you be able to marry a man that, for example, has a determination on his life that he doesn't want to have kids? Though he can accept your kid, but he doesn't want to have more kids.
Yes, I mean, yes.
Would you marry someone on those?
I mean, if I did not have kids,
No, I mean that the guy doesn't want to have kids from himself. He doesn't want to make kids. He doesn't want to build a family. But
that's not an obstacle for me. I already have a child, but if I was not married and I had no kids, I mean, obviously that would not work out for me. I would want someone who would be determined to have kids as well. And I mean, for any woman, any Ukrainian woman, young woman, her goal is to succeed not only as a wife and as a lover, but also as a mother.
Okay. See it this way. Our conversation obviously is about your experience and your thoughts. Now I would like you just briefly to help us to understand, as an Ukrainian woman, what are the standards for a Ukrainian lady to search for a foreign husband. Not your personal opinion about what you would like, but among your friends and your social life here in Ukraine, what do you see that your friends search for in terms of finding a foreign husband? Do they want only Americans? Do they want European? Is the fact that is to go out of the country, or is the characteristics of the man itself that is important? What do you think they want, the Ukrainian women?
Every woman wants a stability. So we already covered the appearance part.
The
and
financial part.
The financial part, the stability. What family you come from, how stable you are in your life, and also how mentally stable you are, and your social background, you know. So I think those are main things that women are looking for, you know.
If, for example, you would be talking with one of your friend girls that still didn't go out from Ukraine and doesn't have obviously your experience, what would you advise her in terms of what she can expect on the day that she will start a relationship with a foreigner man and go live abroad on another country? What would be the recommendation you would give to her to open her eyes and to understand and be prepared to what is to come?
Well, I think the main requirement is to ask questions and to take time. In order to develop any kind of a relationship, time is the #1 requirement. I think that ladies, women, they do not have, they don't need to have expectations that they will never meet. So as a professional, as someone who deals with foreign men, you can always, you know, give them feedback about the person, right? So it's not like going on a blind date, you know. So I think it's about your expectations. Don't expect anything that does not exist, and also take your time.
Yes, you say time. Time is the biggest enemy.
Yes,
that has to be with international dating.
Yeah.
Because I face the problem of men that come with 7 days, 10 days, and maybe they will be able to come again once more during all this year. So do you believe it's possible to create a relationship with 2 visits in 1 year to Ukraine?
I think I already mentioned that fact. That's what I said. Because of the amount of time, you think that all those things will come later. And the latter may not wind up being there.
So it's a fast food marriage.
Exactly. So that's why I say
it's risky.
It's very risky.
Okay, and to finish our conversation, now I will revert to the side of the men, and I would ask you, which advice would you give as an Ukrainian woman to all those men that have the ambition to find an Ukrainian wife? How or what do they need to do to succeed on their quest coming here for a foreigner wife?
I think that before they come here, they need to spend quite a while doing researches about the country about the place they go to, about ladies, about what they like, how culture works here. It's not like you're once I come there and like all these things will start like happening, and I get showered with a lot of beautiful women and they're all gonna love me. That ain't gonna happen. So I think do your researches, and like I said, hold on to your expectations and be realistic. If you're looking for a real relationship, then you need to take pride and take your time. And like I said, it's not about meeting 25 women. It's maybe about meeting 3 and make the best out of it. And also age criteria, which is a significant.
Can I join the age gap? Everybody fights with me with the age gap.
I think the age gap is very detrimental for the relationship. You need to have
Can
things
be a
in
bad start
common.
if we have a huge age gap.
It's not a necessarily bad start, but it's all about how can you picture your relationship 5 years from now? Because
5 years from now, I'm still healthy. In 15, I don't know if I can satisfy you that much.
The man needs to be aware of what a woman wants. If she wants to have kids, if she wants to go to school, if she wants to have a job, if she wants to have any kind of a career, he better support her on all those kinds of things that she wants and the type of life that she chooses. And that should be the question. What do you want? When you move to the US, what do you want? What do you want to do? Do you want to stay home? Do you want to be a housewife? Do you want to be this or this or this? And the second question, here's what I can do and here's what I cannot do. So good luck. I just want to wish good luck to everybody, both men and women. But like I said, it's a tough commitment if you want to follow within, But it's not necessarily think about negative things, because things do work out. There are great relationships, and I know a lot of relationships that are great. And like American, Ukrainian, they have kids. They still travel. They work things out, and I think Ukrainian women, they're not submissive, and men should not take advantage over that. It's not about submission. It's about treating your woman as a person. If you went that far and you traveled all the way here, then you need to value what you have, So God bless and good luck.
Thank you. This was Tanya. Hope you like it.
Thank you for having me here.
Bye-bye.
Bye.